President leaves to Dubai to take part in the COP28 summit. IMF's second disbursement to be received next month. Opposition leader charged for wasting the time of Parliament. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says the renovation of dilapidated rural roads will commence next week. Expo Mela 2023 exhibition will be held from 7th to 17th in Katunayaka. US Secretary of State visits Israel. Now on to those and more stories in detail. On today's top story, President Ranil Wickremesinghe left for Dubai from the country this morning.
And he undertook this tour to take part in the COP28 summit for world leaders.
State Minister Shahan Seymour says the second disbursement of the International Monetary Fund will be received by next month. Speaking in Parliament, the State Minister said that the Official Creditors Committee on Debt Restructuring expressed their preliminary agreement yesterday. State Minister Shahan Seymour said the Official Creditors Committee on Sri Lankan decided yesterday to express their preliminary agreement for the negotiated debt restructuring process. He said that this committee comprised of 17 countries headed by Japan, France and India. He said that even though China is not a member of this committee, China has also extended their support for this endeavour. The State Minister said that accordingly they will expect IMF to release the second disbursement following the approval of the IMF Executive Committee, further stabilising the economy of the country. He also added that further negotiations will be conducted with private creditors in the near future. He commended the leadership of President Ranil Wickremesinghe in the debt restructuring programme. The State Minister said that the government promised all creditors to follow a fair and transparent methodology in debt restructuring process to ensure and improve the country's credibility. The State Minister further said that they were unable to reach a staff-level agreement with the IMF following the first review. Despite efforts to foil the measures undertaken to rebuild the economy and confidence of creditors, he said that the government led by the President managed to continue their efforts rebuilding the collapsed economy and proceeded with the relevant debt restructuring program. Accordingly, he said that they will be able to maintain a second disbursement by the IMF by next month, which will provide the opportunity to receive financial assistance from the World Bank and the ADB.
And in the meantime, parliamentarian Lakshman Kiriala said that they commend the debt restructuring process. However, he said that the country has been faced with this plight due to the failures of the present government.
State Minister Shahan Seymour said that the economy faced a setback and the country declared bankruptcy due to certain wrong decisions in the past. Accordingly, he said that the government is on a fresh new path of recovery and prosperity with the lessons learned. He said that the opposition initially opposed the IMF program as well as the domestic debt restructuring program. He said that 2 weeks have passed since the tabling of the budget 2024. However, he pointed out that most of the time was taken to debate on the discuss of cricket and not the economic crisis.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that it was the government in 2020 rejected the financial assistance worth $100 million extended by the IMF and not the opposition. He said that it was the government which allowed 600 to 700 billion rupee tax relief for businesses and reduced the gross domestic product from 12% to 8%, causing a severe impact on the state revenue.
State Minister Shahan Seymour said that the opposition leader should have taken up the challenge to rebuild the collapsed economy before the President Ranil Wickremesinghe took up the responsibility. Despite the past, the State Minister said that the government, together with the President, has borne the responsibility to build the economy.
Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that in the past 2 weeks, an additional time period of 552 minutes have been taken up in the parliament. He said that out of which the opposition leader has used 204 minutes for himself. And moving on, the Met Department says that low-pressure area located in the southeast Bay of Bengal is likely to intensify into a depression. The department has further indicated that it will further be developed into a cyclone storm by tomorrow. Meteorological scientist Meryl Mendes said that showery weather condition is expected to enhance over the island due to low pressure area over the southeast Bay of Bengal sea area, and northeast monsoon is gradually getting established over the island. He added that showers or thunder showers will occur at times in northern, north central and eastern provinces. He further said that heavy showers about 100 milliliters are likely at some places in eastern province and in Polonnaruwa district. Also, he added that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in other provinces of the island in the evening. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts, he further added.
Father and daughter of the same family had died after being tangled in an electrical wire placed for protection of the cultivations. The incident had occurred in Kotmale, Maipe area. The deceased have been identified as a 32-year-old Sunil Shantakumara and his 3-year-old daughter. The mother of the family had migrated to another country 4 months ago. The father and the daughter were living together with their 7 and 11-year-old sons. The deceased father was maintaining a vegetable cultivation next to the house and had erected an electrical cable 1 foot in effort to protect the cultivation from wild animals. After the son left for school in the morning, the deceased father and the daughter had been tendering to a chilies cultivation. According to residents of the area, both the father and daughter had died after being admitted to Guampolo Hospital.
Minister Bandula Gunawardena says the renovation of dilapidated rural roads is set to commence next week. The Asian Development Bank has agreed to provide a loan amounting to nearly 20 billion rupees for the project. Minister Gunawardena, addressing a news conference at the Presidential Media Centre under the Collective Path to a Stable Country, today emphasized the pivotal role the loan will play in rejuvenating the nation's road infrastructure. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the timely disbursement of funds would enable the commencement of road reconstruction work within the next week. Celebrating a milestone for the nation, Minister Gunawardena declared that the international community has officially endorsed the debt restructuring process in Sri Lanka. He expressed confidence that this victory would breathe new life into stalled projects across the island, including resumption of work on deteriorating roads, bridges and flyovers.
Today's committee-level debate on the Budget 2024 was focused on the expenditure head of the Ministry of Health. The debate was commenced by former Health Minister, Parliamentarian Rajitha Senaratne. Parliamentarian Rajit Senaratne said that the new component has been introduced to the waiver of registration titled Special Pathway, enabling MRA chief to grant approval for the procurement of any medicine directed by the subject minister or the ministry. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrina said that the emergency procurement mechanism has been suspended at present. He also said that based on recommendations of the WHO, the ministry has instructed the MRA chief and its staff over the proper methodology pertaining to the waiver of registration. The minister said that out of 6 million average hospitalizations in the country per year, 1 million hospitalizations are caused by accidents. Accordingly, he said that average 12,000 accident-related deaths occur every year. Former President Maithripala Sirisena said that at times the ministry receives 20,000 tenders per year. Accordingly, he said that the ministry has also processed 2 tender documents per day, which leads to corrupt activities pertaining to the existence under tender procedure. Therefore, he pointed out that importance in revising the procedure.
Meanwhile, acting IGP Deshabandhu Thennakoon assumed his duties today at the police headquarters. Acting IGP Deshabandhu Thennakoon assumed in his duties after observing all religious rites. Many high-ranking officers were present at this occasion.
Good morning, sir.
Meanwhile, the Expo Mela 2023 exhibition will be held from December 7th to the 17th at the Katunaika Free Trade Zone premises. The objective of this initiative is to facilitate the opportunity to producers to sell their products and enabling consumers to producers at concessionary rates. The exhibition is consisting of 100 trade stalls. The event has been organized jointly by Board of Investment, Ministry of Investment Promotion, Free Trade Zone Investors Organization and Ministry of Mass Media. One of the objectives of this exhibition is to enable Sri Lankan consumers to purchase high-quality products belonging to global brands. The exhibition will be declared open under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Foreign tourists will also be given the opportunity to purchase products at this exhibition. Necessary transport facilities to visit the exhibition will also be facilitated during the exhibition period. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that only consumers in foreign countries are able to consume such high-quality products. Accordingly, he said that this exhibition will be organized in an effort to enable Sri Lankan consumers to access and purchase such high-quality global branded products. State Minister Dilum Amnugama said that the main objective of this program is to enable the consumers to purchase export quality products.
The civil organizations and trade union collective says the economic experts have clearly pointed out that no other positive and progressive budget cannot be presented at this juncture. Despite the criticism leveled by various entities, they made these remarks during a media briefing held in Colombo today to express their views on the present political situation and the budget proposals. They emphasized that all should rally together to rebuild the nation. President's Director General on Trade Union, Saman Ratnayapiriya, said that economic experts have clearly pointed out that no other positives and progressive budget cannot be presented at this juncture. He said that political parties in opposition, although they criticize the government for the present budget, had yet to fail to present a proper mechanism to pull out the country from its bankruptcy. He said that the President has been able to provide urban dwellers with housing and lands for the deprived.
Meanwhile, the Committee on Public Finance has requested the Ministry of Finance to reconsider VAT exemptions for several goods, including medical equipment, ambulances, high-protein, agri-foods for children and agricultural items. The Committee on Public Finance took into consideration the Value-Added Tax Amendments Bill, which aims to remove VAT exemptions on certain items and includes provisions to discontinue the simplified VAT system. Official representing the Ministry of Finance stated that agricultural machinery and other equipment, including chemical fertilizer, which was listed as exempted previously, will be VAT liable under the said bill. Adding to the said official stated that agricultural seeds and agricultural plants, shrimp feed, inclusive of prawn feed, and animal feed, excluding poultry feed, will however be exempted from VAT. The committee inquired the rationale behind including VAT for agricultural items, which will impact the domestic agricultural and food industry. Furthermore, dairy products such as liquid milk and eggs will also be liable for the VAT. However, the Ministry of Finance stated that wheat flour or powdered milk, drugs will be exempted. Parliamentarian Vajra Abewardena said the country will be deprived of a positive future if the state mechanism remains unchanged. He made these remarks while taking part in the Government Information and Communication Technology Professional Summit. Parliamentarian Vajra Abewardena said that the state workers are under the impression that a change in the state mechanism would deprive opportunities for them in the future. He said that an efficient state mechanism in the country requires a 2 million workforce in the state sector. Therefore, the efficient state mechanism should contribute to the growth rate of the country. He said that they are expecting to recognize IT service through a cabinet paper and incorporate the service into the establishment's code.
The High Commission of Pakistan has extended scholarship for Sri Lankan students to obtain their higher educational degrees in Pakistan. Accordingly, the High Commission has extended 321 scholarships this year. So far, 357 Sri Lankan students are receiving their higher education in Pakistan under the scholarship program. The new intake will be directed to the universities of Pakistan for the academic years of 2023 and 2024. High Commissioner of Pakistan, the Sri Lanka retired Major General Umar Farooq Burki and Minister Susil Premajand attended the ceremony to award the scholarships to the chief guest. Minister Vidur Vikramanayake, Minister Nimal Siripal De Silva, Parliamentarian Imtiaz Bakir Makar, General Shavendra Silva were present in this occasion.
Worthy audience, today let me start by welcoming you all to the award distribution ceremony for the bright Sri Lankan students selected for the 5th batch through Allama Iqbal Scholarship Scheme to pursue their studies in Pakistan. This is probably my last official commitment of my tenure pertaining to the educational activities, and what a good ending to announce that a group of 321 students will be travelling to Pakistan for the year 23-24 for higher studies. Ladies and gentlemen, worthy guests, over the years, the Government of Pakistan through Higher Education Commission is committed to help the deserving students from this island to pursue their higher education in Pakistan. Pakistan gives immense importance to its relationship with Sri Lanka, needless to say, and it is evident from this exclusive Allama Iqbal Scholarship Program, which started way back in 2019, offering Sri Lankan students to pursue their higher education in Pakistan in diversified disciplines in Pakistan's prestigious educational institutions.
Presently, 483 Sri Lankan students are studying in Pakistan under this program. I congratulate all the students who are receiving the Pakistan Allama Iqbal scholarships. They are studying in many fields including architecture, finance, computer sciences, information technology, agriculture, languages, media and communication. These are very important areas of knowledge and skills for Sri Lanka's future development of labour force. Sri Lanka is slowly recovering from the severe economic problems it had, and I wish to thank His Excellency the High Commissioner for the assistance you and your country have been extending to us the recent past. Education is at the heart of all development efforts. We in Sri Lanka are now formulating comprehensive reforms in general education, higher education, and technical and vocational education. In this context, I welcome the education scholarships coming from Pakistan, and I hope that the recipients will take the best benefit from them.
From Pakistan to Japan, Ambassador of Japan, Mizukoshi Hideaki signed the grant contracts of 2 demining projects under the scheme of grant assistance for grassroots human security projects recently. The grant contracts of 2 demining projects were signed with the country director of the Mines Advisory Group, Christy McLean, and program manager of the Halo Trust, Stephen Hall. Has provided a total sum of approximately 238 million rupees for these 2 projects. These efforts extend support for humanitarian demining activities in the northern and eastern provinces. Japan has been a major donor in demining activities in Sri Lanka since 2002, and the total amount of assistance exceeds $44 million.
I am glad that we have signed 2 important demining projects with MAG and Halo Trust under Japan's grant assistance for grassroots and human security projects today. MEG and Halo are the biggest demining NGOs in Sri Lanka, dedicatedly working in the most difficult areas and facilitating landmine clearance operations since 2002. Taking this opportunity, I would like to sincerely extend my deepest gratitude to both MAG and Halo for their great efforts and unrivaled dedication in demining activities in Sri Lanka over the past 20 years. Facing danger at all times, demining activities are very challenging and stressful. I have visited mine sites twice in the northern province and heard the positive impacts of demining projects directly from the beneficiaries of the province. I would like to extend my sincere respect to MAG and Halo for their resolute and noble initiatives. Demining activities contribute not only to promoting resettlement in conflict-affected areas, but also to improving the lives of the vulnerable people. In the budget speech 2024, His Excellency President Wickramasinghe stressed the importance of modernization of agriculture and increasing the productivity of the fisheries sector in the northern province. Ensuring land safety through demining activities would be inevitable to support these initiatives for sustainable development of Sri Lanka. Development of the conflict-affected areas, including northern and eastern province, is one of the priority areas in Japan's official development assistance policy to Sri Lanka.
Japan and the Japanese people are our longest supporting donor. 21 years of humanitarian assistance to clear the explosive remnants of war in northern Sri Lanka has helped HALO to find and destroy over 283 anti-personnel mines, of which 55,000 have been funded by Japan, and also to release 117 square kilometers, of which 25 square kilometers has been cleared, 4.5 square kilometers through Japanese funding. This has enabled the safe resettlement of over 280,000 internally displaced people. Funding from Japan also provides a stable income and livelihood for hundreds of local women and men. The continued support from the government of Japan to HALO Trust and to MAG, to DASH and to SHARP is bringing the government of Sri Lanka one step closer towards meeting its anti-personnel mine ban treaty obligations of clearing all known contamination and other explosive contamination by the 1st of June 2028.
The Mines Advisory Group is thrilled to enter into this partnership with the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka to address a critical and fundamental need for the human security of all Sri Lankans. The Government of Japan has been the longest-serving institutional donor supporting the clearance of landmines and other unexploded ordnance from Sri Lanka's conflict-affected areas in the north and east. MAG has worked in Sri Lanka since 2002 to help rid the country of the scourge of landmines and other UXO, and to date has released more than 55 square kilometers of land back to communities to safely resettle, engage in agricultural activities, and increase access for other development, infrastructure, and livelihood benefits. The work is not yet done, and we are so grateful to the Japanese Embassy for this ongoing critical support, which is helping the government of Sri Lanka reach its goal of becoming mine-free in the coming years. Under this specific project, MAG plans to release another nearly 195,000 square meters of land, and the project will run from December 1st through to June 30th next year. We anticipate there will be two main outcomes of this project. The first is to reduce the threat of death and injury to resident and returning communities across districts in the north and east. And the second outcome is to support the district secretariat's planning divisions to enable safe implementation of wider socioeconomic and livelihood projects as part of their district development plans in places such as Mannar, Mullaitivu, Vavunia, Kilinochchi, Batticaloa, Trincomalee, and Polonnaruwa. Not only is this a life-saving project, but it also ties into the Government of Japan's wider economic and development cooperation with Sri Lanka, and we look forward to seeing how this foundational work can also contribute to the other projects that Japan supports in country.
Meanwhile, representatives of the institute which introduced cochlear implant surgery investigated the country recently. They arrived in the country accepting an invitation of the J.M. Vikramaraj company, which is entrusted to conduct the relevant surgical procedure in the country. The visiting representative appreciated and commended the Vikramaraj Institute for conducting 1,000 surgical procedures under the guidance of specialist doctors and using the latest technology and equipment.
And now let's take a look at several local news items in brief. An Ashirvada Puja to invoke blessings on former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's held yesterday at the Ruanveli Mahasaya premises. 30 people have been injured from a road accident occurred this morning at the Valikanda Singapura Mutuala area in Polonnaruwa. The accident had occurred when a private bus has veered off. It was organized in line with the 78th birth anniversary of the former president. Atamasdandamadipati Venerable Dr. Pallegama Hemarathana Thero and Chief Incumbent of Ruanveli Mahasaya Venerable Ilthawanwe Ginatilaka Thero was present on this occasion. The opportunity is now available to study Masters in Philosophy offered by the Australian RMIT University in Sri Lanka.
We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Now on foreign news, looking at Israel, U.S. State Secretary Antony Blinken has warned Israel to ensure Gaza is protected before restarting any military operations. The U.S. State Secretary Antony Blinken is in Middle East for talks and met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who again reiterated his promise to free all hostages and eliminate Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister has also released a statement mentioning the deadly attack in Jerusalem today. He said that the attack was conducted by Hamas members. Meanwhile, the another group of hostages are set to be released today in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, with temporary ceasefire in Gaza now in its 7th day. Talks are continuing about extending the truce, with Egypt saying it was working with Qatar to get further 2-day extension. 3 people were killed in Jerusalem earlier after gunmen opened fire at a bus stop during rush hour. Hamas said the attackers were shot dead by police were its members. The incident happened a day after two Palestinian boys, aged 8 and 14, were shot and killed during Israeli army raid in western bank of Jenin.
Meanwhile, former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, who played a pivotal and polarizing role in U.S. foreign policy during the Cold War, has died at the age of 100. And National Security Advisor during the Nixon and Ford administrations. Despite leaving office in the mid-1970s, he continued to be consulted by generations of leaders for decades. The German-born former diplomat died at his home in Connecticut. Born in Germany in 1923, the schoolteacher's son first came to the U.S. in 1938 when his family fled the Nazis. He never quite lost his native Bavarian accent. He became a U.S. citizen in 1943 and went on to serve 3 years in the U.S. Army and later in the Counterintelligence Corps. After earning a bachelor's and master's degree and a PhD, he taught international relations at the Harvard, and in 1969, then-President Nixon appointed him National Security Advisor, a position that gave him enormous sway over U.S. foreign policy. His 8 years as both National Security Advisor and Secretary of State between 1969 to 77, he saw the U.S. finally end its involvement in the Vietnam War. It also opened up relations with China and brought about a cessation of hostilities in the 1973 Yom Kippur War in the Middle East between Egypt and Syria on the one hand and Israel on the other. It was an effort that created the whole idea of shuttle diplomacy, when a mediator travels between disputing parties to help them reach an agreement.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Now for sporting update, we are looking at cricket first. Dubai Bulls, Chennai Bravos and New York Strikers secured wins in the matches played in Abu Dhabi T10 League yesterday. The tournament is currently underway in Dubai.
The match between Deccan Gladiators and Delhi Bulls was played in Abu Dhabi. Batting first, Deccan Gladiators scored 120 runs for 2 wickets in their 10 overs. Chasing the victory target, Delhi Bulls managed to win the match with 9 wickets in hand. Quinton de Kock scored 50 runs.
Unique skip and delivery. Oh, he wants a single. Gone!
New York Strikers managed to secure an 8-wicket victory against Bengal Tigers. Batting first, Bengal Tigers managed to score 101 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in their 10 overs. Shamika Karunaratne picked up 3 wickets for the Strikers. New York managed to chase down the target in the 7th over with the heroics of Kusal Pereira, who was not out 50.
Oh, that's hit flat. Oh, that's hit beautifully.
Wow.
That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thanks for joining us. Good night.